with K. So the grill is gonna hop on. He was actually on standby waiting for me, so he will see my message shortly and he'll hop on. So for now, we are gonna go ahead and move forward with the show. Let's see here. So Algo Factory, we help people become traders. Is what we do. So we're gonna answer any basic beginner trader questions today. So if you're in the chat, go ahead. Feel free to ask questions. If you want to know more about what we do, head to that website right there on the QR code. You can zap it with your phone or go to www.algofactory.tech and you can find out what we do. And well, let's get straight into it. All right, let's see if I know we're kind of a relatively new YouTube channel, so we'll look for someone to come into the chat, or perhaps our private members might not be in this particular chat. They might be in our private chat and asking questions from over there. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking a look at what today has in store from a market perspective. We got Valley Girl in the house, TGIF. That's right. Thank God it's Friday. Friday is a great day. You know, Friday is a day where I don't do a lot of trading. So, you know, I just kind of I watch the market. If there is a day trade opportunity, I will take advantage of it. But other than that, I kind of hang back. I take a look at what's happening next week in the market. I might play around in some other markets, like maybe a meme coin market or something where I can, you know, just fool around and put a very small amount of money in to make a large amount. But other than that, Fridays are kind of a relaxed, chilled out day. Okay, so let's see. Today we have data came out overnight for. Let me go ahead and share the screen, everybody. Give me 1 second so you can see what I'm seeing here. We have some European data that came out pretty early there at about 4 a.m. EST. Let me refresh this screen so we actually see what the result of the data was. And we'll scroll down to here. Well, it looks like it's a lot of business climate, consumer sentiment type data. The German and the IFO business climate data came out a little low. That's just a European measure of business in general. I can, you know, take it. I'm not really usually following that metric. Let's see here. Level of composite index based on surveyed manufacturers, builders, wholesalers, services, and retailers. So this is basically a survey that came out just a little bit lower than normal, which is to be expected in the current climate. Today is day 2 for Jackson Hole. So today there will be some tongue wagging, some jaw flapping. We got Fed Chair Powell, that's Chowell. I've been calling him Chow lately. 10:05 EST, he's going to speak. So markets might get a little bit wonky around that time. I personally would not be entering any day trades before he starts to talk. I might look for some volatility to occur after he speaks. And you know, try to take advantage of that on a day trade. That's possible. It's early enough on a Friday. It's 10 a.m. It's you know, only what is that? Maybe a little more than an hour and a half after the market opens. So you do have the rest of the day to trade. So once he's done talking, and I think these panels will oftentimes go 15 to 30 minutes. It's not like it's a long talk. You know, once he's done and whatever he says is over analyzed, then we might be able to see, you know, what the markets do and take advantage of that. We also, FOMC member Harker is going to speak. I don't know if he has like voting rights or if he's just a member that is simply a member. And there are important people. What they have to say will be analyzed and might affect market. It's not a high impact event, but it's a medium impact event. And again, all day long we have the Jackson Hole Symposium. But again, once Powell's done speaking, I imagine there's not going to be necessarily any plannable, any predictable data that might move the markets. And then again at 3 p.m. EST, which is, you know, getting pretty close to market close, you have President Lagarde speaks, but that's, you know, that's so late in the day. I don't trade that late today, especially on a Friday. I certainly don't day trade that late Monday through Thursday, and I don't swing trade on a Friday at all. I will swing trade maybe a little bit later in the day on, you know, like any day besides Friday, because the space between the entry and stop loss is pretty great. So I might do that, but generally I don't. So That's what's happened with the data. Looks pretty quiet today. Looks like everybody's kind of taking the day off. I started a little bit later, as some of you know, so not seeing a lot of people in the chat. People might have thought that the show was canceled, whatever that is. So I guess we'll just kind of start moving through the charts until the gorilla hops on, and I think he's going to hop on right now. So let's see here. Let me start with gold. Took a small short last night on gold. It didn't work out. Looks like price is not ready quite yet to dump. There is some considerable upward pressure on gold, but it is going to want to take a break. So we might see, let me expand this chart and let me zoom in. Let me zoom in on this so y'all can see it and see the numbers. Give me just one moment. Yeah, Valley Girl said it. Pop over to YouTube if you are in the private chat. Come on to YouTube. That do the comments and all that. That helps us out. As you know, as you hear all the YouTubers say, it's true. Helps us out with the algos. So looking at gold right now, it's actually coming off a pretty decent run down. So it had a really big impulse down. And so it is going to have some upward energy. But, we're on the 3-hour chart. So this is a pretty high time frame look. So, to really look at the impulse from a high time frame aspect, it's the entire move down. So let me draw that impulse so you all can see that. If I were to zoom out on a high time frame, it would look like this. Okay, so you got a lot of up down on the way. So you got a lot of smaller impulse and retracements on the way. But if you zoom out, it's going to look like what I just drew. We got Jay Martin in the house. Yeah, gold. So is NUGT like is that a minor? We can look at that if you want. Of course, we got Valentine in the house as well. For now, we'll finish our gold analysis. So gold may want to retrace a bit because it has, it's flipped around. It started to head back up. And just for confluence, I'll map out the fib levels, 786, 618. It's already at the 382 now. If the move down was really strong, then it might stop at the 382 or barely go above it and head down. But that's just going to depend on where all the volume is and a few other things. It depends on the market in general, because a lot of gold moves can have a fundamental edge to them. But usually, if it is a fundamental edge to a gold move, from what I've seen, it's not a very big one. Usually those fundamental moves are at a shorter term, outside of, some war or some crazy thing erupting. But price is going to be attracted to two clear areas here. One is going to be right at 1936 area. The other is going to be here at the 1960 type area. It'll be attracted to that, but it's not necessarily going to go in a straight line. So, and again, we're on a 3-hour chart, so you're looking back like a whole month right now. This is a pretty broad chart time wise. So the opportunities, there's numerous opportunities to trade and the day trade on this on the way down. Lots of longs, lots of shorts. So we're not looking at just one direction here, if you take my meaning. So here is this two areas in the box where price is going to get attracted to. And we'll code those orange. That is not the right place. Okay, that's the text. Style, code, orange. Okay. So these orange boxes, if you will, are where price will be attracted to, because what we have is prior volume. So, this is a place where a lot of price action happened in the past on the way down. And where that happened is where price is going to be attracted to, right? As well as these fib levels. So now that we have this established, I'm going to erase this 782 fib level. I'm going to erase the fib. I'm going to cut down on the noise. This 1950 level is important. It is the 618 and there is volume there. So I'll keep that. The 382 actually is where price might reject, to be honest, because there are gaps in volume in this area. So it wouldn't surprise me to see price not want to go past the box that I just drew, which I will code teal, if you will. Trying not to say code blue right now. Here you go. All right. So that's a place where price could reject, and there is another spot where price could reject, which is up here in this area. So, gold has a rocky kind of a slope to climb, if you will. And if price can make it through this first area, let's zoom in a little bit here. If price can make it through this, say 1920 to 1932, 1926 to 1932 area, it's going to definitely want to fill in and grab liquidity from this, say 1934 to 1937 area. So, what we could see happen is right now there is, it is going to want to take a break based on my algo. There's a good chance that price in its current state, let me grab this path here. It might pull maybe like one of these before that. And that's the trade I was betting on. And it didn't work out. I was early. Doesn't mean I was wrong. So I may actually take that trade again if the algo gives me permission to do so. And then it might head up here. But also before it gets there, it could simply reject and head down. And of course, it might reject at the top of this area here. Or it might go all the way up here and be attracted to there. So what we're going to do, at least what I'm going to do, is I'm taking this level by level. Okay. So, I am, this is funny, Jay Martin. This is Jay Martin's comment in the comment section. Of course, he's just kidding. Nothing we say is investment advice, and clearly Jay Martin is not giving us investment advice. He's having fun. We also got a good morning from Cool Cat. Good to see you on here. So we're just going to take it level by level. If I see that my algo says there's going to be a rejection at current levels, then I'll go ahead and take that short yet again. It was a beautiful risk to reward. I think it was like 3-1 or something like that. So definitely a trade worth risking. But that's gold for the moment. We do have a request from Jay Martin for NUGT. So let's take a look at that. Let me erase all this data here. Well, we'll leave it on there. Maybe it might be useful later. NUGT. It's probably a minor. Gold minor. I don't see NUGT. No, yeah. I don't see anything called NUGT. Not popping up there, bud. So you'll have to tell me what that is or where to find it, but I don't see NUGT. You might be spelling that ticker wrong. No NUGT. Okay. I guess we can, since we looked at gold, we can take a look at silver. Let me see. We got Trev with a happy Friday, Robert with happy Friday over in the private chat. So that's a wonderful deal. Let's look at silver. The silver is like a lot more volatile than gold. It's a lot more fun to trade. It is caught in a bit of a range, it seems, or even a channel, if you will. Grab a box here so I can draw. I mean, it's not that well established of a range, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure how I would look at that. And plus the data doesn't go back very, okay, never mind. That's good. Yeah, I don't know if this range is not well established. What you do have decently established is a lower bound. So what I'm going to do is just draw a line across the bottom of all this price action where it keeps bouncing, right? And then we do have a couple of rejections up in this area. So a range could be being built. So let me look at the overall picture though. Yeah, silver is it is at the moment wanting to range. Let me go out past the weekly here. Give me a second. Okay, so silver's like not a lot of volatility on the high time frame, so it is going to bounce around based on market structure. In the mid to lower time frames, that's what's going to dictate silver right now. Aside from say fundamental issues. Trev, I don't know if they chart that. I can take a look. Trev asking to chart the gold to silver ratio. No, as of now, I mean, I'm expecting silver to slowly make its way up. This was a pretty hard move up from about $22 up to 24. That was a good strong move. So it might kind of, if there's enough momentum and it can make its way past this price structure, it might kind of pull this. And once it makes it up to here, then it might reject at 25. And 25 to the mid 20s has been a pretty strong resistance for silver for a long time. So I would expect that right now. Of course, it might do a lot of things, but it might also take a break and then head up. That could also happen with silver. So, but I do expect an approach of $25 handle on silver. It might not happen right away. The move that we've seen from say mid-August until now, that was a good strong move that happened relatively fast when it comes to silver. But silver's more volatile than gold. You see a lot more a lot bigger moves on that. Trev wants to see the gold silver ratio, and that might be the end of the free show if I can find it, if it's on here, which it wouldn't surprise me either way. Silver, gold, silver AUD, gold, silver. So basically what you're looking at, I believe this is the gold silver ratio. It's gold to silver. So, you're looking at 79 ounces of gold to 1 ounce, or 79 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold is what it looks like. And that would make sense because that move up from silver would take the ratio down. I don't know if you can trade this. I mean, it is it's on Oanda, but Oanda doesn't do CFDs in the US at this point. But that's your gold silver ratio. You're looking at it. I think it's historically out of whack. I mean, they talk about how historically it's been 10 to 1. But we're in a different world than history. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go back to the way history was, and silver's going to, multiply by 7 compared to gold. I mean, it's just not necessarily the case. You can see since 2007, it's been on kind of an uptrend where gold is worth a lot more than silver. So, it's just been going up and up and up. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know how useful that chart is, but, if you're trading physical, then, it's one thing you can look at is that trend. But by the time that gold and silver become important, by then it's kind of too late to buy it, and a lot can change very quickly. Jay Martin said First Majestic, so let's take a look and see that. I bet you that's a minor. Nothing coming up for First Majestic. Don't know what's going on with the tickers that Jay is calling today, but that's not pulling up. Not under stocks, not under funds. It's under all countries too, so it's not like I'm just looking at the U.S. So no First Majestic, so that's that. Well, I appreciate everybody coming in. It looks like we had a decent crowd over at YouTube today, so the bigger crowd, the better. Thank you all for coming in, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, follow all that stuff they tell you to do on the YouTubes. I'm going to go ahead and just end it here. We'll head over to the private talk. Again, apologies for the late start today. So basically, just had to deal with some stuff. Sometimes the issues come up, and that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube stream, but I'll throw up the QR code. You can go ahead and head over to our website. Again, we help people become traders, and what we do is we help them get on the path to actually having a programmable algorithm. So something that they eventually can have, they can pay a coder to code. So we help them build the algorithm so they can manually trade, which is what most people do anyway. And so the whole coding thing and having a trade for you, that's very possible, but you got to have a successful manual algorithm in general before you can do that. There's not a whole lot of people who can build a coded algorithm from scratch. That's not very common, and usually the people who can do that are those who know how to build a manual one. So you got to learn that first, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's true. Either way, we'll see you on Monday morning. Everybody on YouTube land, have a good weekend.